Okay, so we're going to teach you about divisibility rules. No.
Your writing is the same as mine. Oh my gosh.
Okay, ignore that. The first number we're going to learn the divisibility rule for is 10.
Yay.
Now, if you're dividing by 10, the number has to end in a zero to
like
be
that
divisible
one.
by 10. So 50 is divisible by 10. That looks like so.
That will
100
make
is
5.
divisible by
That will
10.
make 10.
20
That will make
is
2.
divisible by 10. All that. The next number we are going to do the divisibility rule for is 5.
The number has to end in a 5 or a 0, or else it's not divisible by 5.
So 15 is divisible by 5.
That makes 3.
20 is divisible by 5.
That makes 4.
105 is divisible by 5.
That makes.
The next one we are going to do is 2. For the divisibility rule for 2 is it has to end in a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 0 to be divisible.
10.
So 14 is divisible by 2.
That's 7.
16 is divisible
That's
by 2.
8.
108 is divisible by 2.
The other person filling in here now. So, the divisibility rule for 3 is that 3. No, not 9. You're a big dum-dum. So, the divisibility rule for 3 is that every third number is divisible by 3 because, yay! So, 21 is divisible by 3, which makes 7. And 111 isn't divisible by 3 because it is not a multiple of 3.
Okay, so Marshall got that one wrong. The divisibility rule for 3 is if the sum of the numbers is divisible by 3, then so is the number. So 2,523 would be 12, which is divisible by 3, makes 4. 7,352 is 17, which is not divisible by 3. So this one is not divisible by 3.
Can you explain that more? Because I'm sure some of our audience won't understand it.
So, Marshall thinks I'm not explaining this correctly. So,
because it doesn't make sense.
If the sum of the digits in a number is divisible by 3, then a number is divisible by 3. That rule also works for 9.
The first unit.
So, yeah. So,
and the second and the third.
18 is divisible by 9. 27 is divisible by 9. 36 divisible by 9.
So, now we're doing the big old 6. That also has... Yeah, okay. So, 6, the divisibility rule for that number is if you can also divide it by... No, if you can multiply 2 and 3 not together to make the number, it's divisible by 6. So, don't you dare touch the undo button, David. So, if you do 2 times 3, it equals 6. So, scratch that out. Now, if you do 53, it isn't because it's not divisible by 2 and 3. So, it can't be 6.
So, I'm going to make sense of Marshall's own scratches.
What do you mean?
So, if the last digit of the number is divisible by 2, then it is divisible by 2. And if you use the divisibility rule for 3, which is add them together, and if they are divisible by 3,
that's not even how you do it.
It is. Then it is divisible by 6.
So, now we're doing 4 and 8. So, not 48. So, yeah. Okay, so, first we'll be doing 4. So, to divide by 4, you have to multiply the tens digit by 2. Then you have to add this product to the ones digit. And if the sum is divisible by 4, then so is the number. So,
Let's give
any
them an
examples, David?
Sure. Let's do 22. So you multiply this one by two, which is 4. Then you add it to this one,
Which would
makes
be
6. So it is not divisible by 4.
No, not divisible at all. However, 24 is divisible by the 4 number, because 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And then 8 is divisible by 4, because 8 divided by 4 equals Big 2, who loves every number except for odd numbers. So, yay! Now I'm doing 8. So, you have to multiply the hundreds digit by 4, and multiply the tens digit by 2. Add these products to the ones digit. If the sum is divisible by 8, then so is the number. So 124. So multiply the hundreds digit by 4. That would be 4. Multiply the tens digit by 2. Multiply the tens digit by 2. Multiply the tens digit by 2, which is 4.
Again.
Pro 4, and then add these products to the ones digit, which would be 4 times 3 is 12.
Didn't even mean to do that.
So if the sum is divisible by 8, the sum is 12 is not divisible by 8.
So
but 4 is. Yay!
So 124 is not divisible by 8.
Yeah, pretty much.
The last divisibility rule, I believe, is divisibility by 0.
Anything divided by 0 is
0. Anything, basically, if you have like 1 divided by 0, it's going to be 0. If you have
anything divided by itself is 1, but anything divided by 0 is 0. So, let's say 0 times 0. Hold on, check that time to. So, 0 divided by 0 equals error. Because anything divided by itself, so 0 divided by 0, that's divided by itself, that should equal 1, but anything divided by 0, so 0 divided by 10, 100,000
is 0.
Equals 0, so it's a paradox. This is a fun.
Sorry, viewers, for hurting your brains. Here is a picture of a puppy to make up for it.
Puppies! What are you doing to that puppy? Puppy! It was never a puppy. It's an elephant. So, this is the finale. David had to leave because he broke his glasses, so yay. It's me now, so just be deleting this awesome message. So, hey, Ella, you're not allowed to talk. This is my presentation, girl. So, bye.
Hi, people.
Stop it! Okay, so bye, and sorry for what David was trying to do to that puppy.
Potato are you doing?
Bye. So, this is a sneak attack divisibility rule for 7. So, So the last digit of the number, so let's say we're doing 357. So the last digit of the number is 7, right? So you take that 7 and then you double it, which would be 14. Let me just
Great multiplication, Marshall.
let me just erase that big boo-boo mistake. So 14,
That's more than
and
a
then
little
you would
boo-boo
take it
mistake.
away. You would take it away from the rest of the number, and then you would do something like 35 minus 14, which would be, do the math, 21. And then 21 is divisible by 7, so 357 would be divisible by 7, because to start, you doubled the last digit, the 1 digit, and then you subtracted that number from the rest of the numbers, and then you see if the remainder or what you made from that is divisible by 7, and if it is, the number is divisible by 7. So, goodbye for now. David, say goodbye or else.
Actually, I have a question. What if you have like 127 and you can't subtract 14 from 12? What happens then? Is it not divisible by 7?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
So, say goodbye, David.
Goodbye, David.